Hey, and nice to see you guys after a long time. Today, we're getting to know a game that's releasing in 2 days called Last Flag. This game is rumored to be the next viral game. Last Flag is an upcoming third-person hero shooter game developed and published by Night Street Games, a studio founded by Imagine Dragons singer Dan Reynolds. It's a variation on the classic flag-robbing game formula. It will be released on Steam and Epic Games Store on April 14, 2026, with console versions planned and a release likely later this year. Without further ado, let's get to know the game. First of all, there are 9 characters in the game, each with their own passive abilities and abilities. Let's start with the first one. I'll go through these quickly, but you can read the passive and abilities yourself. But first we have Banshee. Second we have Scout. Third, Roadie. Fourth, Arsenal. Fifth, Tango. Sixth, Knives. Seventh, Skyfire. Eighth, Bounty Hunter. And ninth, Lumberjack. All right, first time jumping into Last Flag. I've heard a little bit about this, not too much though. Wanted to keep it fresh, no expectations. Okay, yeah, hold on. Why does this already feel this good? Like instantly, movement, aiming, everything just feels super clean. You know when a game just responds exactly how you want it to? No delay, no weird clunkiness, just smooth? Yeah, this has that. And I gotta say, first impressions, I'm actually impressed. Like genuinely, this already feels more polished than a lot of games do even after you've played them for a while. There's just something about the responsiveness. It gives you confidence immediately. You don't feel like you're fighting the game, you feel like you're in control. And that's such a huge thing, especially in a competitive shooter. This is giving me some really interesting vibes too. Like I'm feeling a mix of Team Fortress, Overwatch, and honestly, there's even a bit of that Fortnite-style energy in here. But without the building, just the colorful, readable, slightly arcade
ready
feel.
For your children.
And somehow
Doberman,
all of that just
you
works
can't
together.
lock them up,
It doesn't feel like a
but
clone
we
either.
can.
It feels inspired, but still very much its own thing. And that's honestly pretty rare right now. Also, quick thing. I'm trying out Roadie here, and I gotta say, this character actually feels really good. The abilities are clean, easy to understand, and that fast,
Getting the
explosive
flag.
shot is super
Sometimes
satisfying.
a team effort.
It's
Sometimes
quick,
a
it hits
solo
hard,
feat.
and it just fits the flow of the game really nicely.
Blue team has the
I
flag,
like that.
which is great.
Nothing
except for
overcomplicated, just solid and fun. And honestly, I always appreciate when a character just clicks instantly. You don't have to overthink it, you just start playing and it feels natural. That's exactly what's happening here. But yeah, going back to the overall game, you can tell this wasn't just thrown together. From what I've seen, this was made by a smaller, tight-knit development team, not some massive AAA studio. And I think it even started as a pretty close project between the creators themselves. And honestly, you can feel that.
Is only half
It feels
the
like there's
battle.
actual
Now,
passion
they
behind
have to get
this.
the flag.
The way everything flows, the way the game is structured, it feels intentional. Like they really thought about how this should play. And that's a big deal. Because if the core gameplay feels good, everything else can be built on top of that.
That'll
And right now,
definitely leave a
the core
nasty
feels
bruise.
solid.
Radar tower
Like
healing.
really
Now
solid.
that-
And I don't say that lightly, because a lot of games miss that. They might look good, they might have cool ideas, but if the core gameplay doesn't feel right, people just don't stick around. Here, I can already tell people are gonna stick around. Also, I like how approachable this is. It's not overwhelming, it's not throwing a million systems at you at once, but at the same time, you can already tell there's a lot of depth here.
Okay,
Like this is
okay,
definitely
blue
one of
team
those
has the
easy to
flag.
learn,
Now
hard to master
comes the
type
hard
games.
part.
And those are always the ones that last, because that's where the grind comes in.
Family
That's
tired
where
of
you start
meatloaf?
improving, learning, getting better, and
Jet
actually
set into your
enjoying
living
that
room
process.
and live the
And I'm already
Vavoom
getting that feeling
lifestyle
here.
every day.
Like I'm already thinking ahead. What is this gonna feel like after a few days? A week? Once you really start understanding everything? Yeah, this could get really addictive. And I'm not even deep into it yet. That's the crazy part. Also, I'm noticing this is definitely gonna be a team-focused game. You can't just run around and expect everything to work. You need awareness, timing, positioning, all that good stuff. And that's where the best moments come from. Those clutch situations, those close games, those how did we just win that
So
moments.
keeping the red team from
Yeah,
entering the
I
pyramid
can already
will
see
be
this game
key.
having a lot of those. And those are the moments that keep you coming back. Also, I gotta say, the overall style is just nice. It's not trying too hard to be ultra-realistic. Everything is clear, readable, and easy to follow, which is huge in a competitive game. Because if you always understand what's happening, you can actually improve. And that makes the game way more enjoyable long-term. And yeah, I keep coming back to this, but the feel of the game is just so important, and they nailed it here. Like, genuinely nailed it. If a game feels good to play, people will stay. Simple as that. And I'm already getting that just one more game feeling. You know that dangerous feeling where you're like, okay, one more, and then suddenly it's been hours? Yeah, that's already kicking in. Which is kind of crazy for a first session. And I can already imagine how this is going to feel once you really start getting into it. Learning small details, improving movement, understanding timing, working better with teammates, that's when games like this really start to shine. And I honestly think this game has that kind of potential. Also, I really respect that this is going the paid route, without stuffing everything full of microtransactions. That's honestly refreshing nowadays. It feels more like you're getting a full experience instead of constantly being pushed toward a store. And that might actually help build a better community too. People who are here to play, improve, and grind. And speaking of the future, I'm actually really curious to see what they add to this. Like, imagine, new characters with unique abilities, more maps with different playstyles, maybe a solid ranked system, seasonal updates, balance changes. And honestly, one thing I'd personally love to see added at some point is a 5v5 tactical mode. Something where one team has an objective like a flag or device that they need to plant at like an A or B site, and the other team is trying to stop them. Kind of like that ballistic/CS style gameplay, where every round really matters. Slower pacing, more strategy, more clutch moments. I feel like with how good the core mechanics already are, that kind of mode would go crazy in this game. Like, genuinely, that could take it to a whole new level competitively. Because imagine this same smooth gameplay, but with that added layer of tension, where every move matters, every mistake matters. Yeah, that would be insane. And I really hope they explore something like that, because the foundation is there, and that's the exciting part. Also, I like how the game doesn't feel overly complicated. It knows what it wants to be. It's focused, and that's something a lot of games struggle with. They try to do too much, and then everything just becomes messy. This feels clean, focused, intentional, and that's why it works. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting kinda hyped. Like, actually hyped. Because this feels like one of those games you discover early, and then suddenly it blows up later, and you're like, yeah, I knew this was good. That kind of feeling. And I can already see myself coming back to this, playing more, improving, maybe even grinding this properly, because it feels rewarding, and that's what matters. Not just fun for one session, but something you want to keep coming back to. And this? Yeah, this has that. So yeah, first impressions? I'm impressed. Like, actually impressed. This feels polished, it feels smooth, it feels fun, it feels competitive without being frustrating. And most importantly, it makes me want to keep playing. And that's everything you want from a game like this. Alright, yeah, I'm locked in. This is gonna be good. Like, really good.